So we're going to go into our next person coming in fourth place. This person was actually a finalist on NBC reality show Last Comic Standing. Everybody but myself voted for him. He comes in with 24 points. It is Gary Goldman.
I was wondering when the legend was going to be on the show.
Oh, man himself.
Phil, man, you probably haven't seen any of his stuff, have you?
That's really, I haven't really seen his stuff.
He also is pretty clean. We said Jim Gaffigan was good with the observational humor, but Gary Goldman takes it to another level. He has dry observational humor. Cannot believe you have not seen the Goldman. When we watched The Joker, our boy was in a major picture.
Yeah.
Oh, we popped.
We were the only people in the theater that said, "Is that Gary Goldman?" And like, yes, indeed, it was.
No, so for his 3 fans out there,
Wow. 3. Wow.
But I know a lot of people out there like, who's Gary Goldman?
Biggest favorite.
He should be a household name, is what it should be. It's a crime. It's because he's a 7-foot tall Jew. That's why they don't like him.
Damn, is he really that tall?
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, he's 6.
Wow. I didn't realize he was. I knew he was over 6 feet. I didn't realize he was 6'6".
Yep, 6'6".
Good for him.
Giant.
Good for him. And he has a beautiful head of hair.
Join us. Setting a high bar, so I better when I see him.
He has a
better
whole
be laughing
special
hysterically.
Yeah, he has a hilarious joke about the sugar cookie.
He has the most mundane subjects, and it's really funny.
He has another hilarious joke about how disrespectful it is to call another adult by their last name.
Talk about his bit about how they came up with the abbreviations of the states. I thought it would be so easy.
They started off, they thought it was going to be easy because Alabama lulled them into a false sense of security. They said, Alabama, AL, holy crap, this is easy. We're going to finish before they stop serving breakfast in the hotel restaurant. Next, they said, Alaska. Everybody cool with AL? Somebody caught it. One man sheepishly raised his hand and said, sir, I think we might have used that one before. And the boss said, guys, not a big deal. We'll come back to it. It's not going to happen again. Certainly not going to happen 27 more times. So what's next? Arizona, AI, there we go. We're back on track. Next, Arkansas. Shit.
He is genuinely hilarious.
Ha 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 ha. Hilarious.
Wow, Phil.
Phil's going to watch it, and he's going to be a contrarian. He's like, it was average.
It was okay.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Gary Goldman's gonna be so funny. He can't help but deny the greatness. It's like Roman Reigns. You can't help but deny greatness when you see it.
We're comparing him to the tribal chief now. Okay. This is a high bar. It's a high bar.
We're acknowledging him.
Yeah, I'm just saying we're acknowledging. I think the tribal chief is a big Gary Goldman fan personally.
We'll see. All right, we're gonna go into our third place.
We love you, Goldman.
We're going to go to our third place, coming in with 31 points. For comedians, usually it's a younger person's game. Usually most comedians pop off like around 20 or so. This guy definitely popped off and got his popularity very much later in life. But he is known for his self-deprecating humor and bringing it to a whole nother level. People will know his main line of "I get no respect." It is Rodney Dangerfield. It was voted on by everybody.
And so this is just like, again, with Gary Goldman. You have to acknowledge greatness, and Rodney Dangerfield exhibited greatness.
Then rapid fire.
I mean, it's not easy being me. When I was born, the doctor told my mother I did all I could, but he pulled through anyway. I mean, and nobody was nice. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. But when I was born, after the doctor cut the cord, he hung himself.
Oh, yeah. He's a king of the one-liner. He can get like 100 jokes in 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like him and Don Rickles were very quick.
Don Rickles will roast you. Brian Dangerfield roasted himself. So they are the exact opposite, but it's the same thing.
How much he could take his self-deprecating humor to like just that level. Like most of his jokes are just making fun of himself.
It's also very impressive that he's so funny because essentially it's the same joke, same few jokes over and over again. My wife is a whore. I'm dumb, ugly, this. So the punchline is generally the same, but it's still funny just because he just tells the most ridiculous ways to put himself down.
Yeah, it's so mad if he can go ice skating on the lake. And his dad said, wait till it gets warmer.
Have you seen when he was on Johnny Carson and Johnny Carson can't stop laughing?
Yeah, was hilarious.
My daughter, you know my daughter, Dr. Vinny Bubat.
There's also another one where it's like he said the doctor came to his dad and said like, "I'm sorry, we did everything we could, but he pulled through."
Yeah, I was watching the other day, and that joke got me.
What an artist.
He had another one. He says wife is so fat that one time he hit her with the car, and she said go around me. He said I don't have enough gas.
He also like fidgets with his tie a lot.
Yeah. He's always like,
I think he said he was like he's always really nervous, and it's like it's just nervous.
yeah. He always does the tie and does a posture. He's like, oh boy, it's hot in here.
Yeah, what a guy! What a guy! R.I.P. to a legend.
Yeah, R.I.P. And I think he's getting more underrated as time goes on because obviously people now he's as an older comedian, so a lot of people don't know about him. So I think they need to go onto YouTube, look him up.
He also his comedy show started actually several comedy people now very popular. I know Jerry Seinfeld's one of them that used to open for him, and that used to be like one of his big things. He used to kind of help people who were
starting
trying to get up there.
That's the one thing I'm going to criticize Dangerfield for because he's the main reason why Sam Kinison was big.
Come on, man! You can't hold that against Rodney.
No one's perfect, Jake. No one's perfect.
No, but I had to find a negative, and that's the one negative.
Jake's, I gotta hold him accountable.
Yeah, you gotta hold him accountable. He has a lot going in his favor, but we do have that one slight problem. Introducing the world to Sam Kinison, and I'm sorry if people find him funny, but he is not funny.
Yeah, so I will have to agree with Mr. Vitamin over there. Sam Kinison to me, no, sir.
Well, I just don't think randomly screaming things is funny.
All right, we're gonna go into our second place. Vote on by everybody. This person came in with 43 points. This person, out of everybody, has had the best transition into movies and had a very good movie career, and actually was one of the top grossing movie stars at one point, especially back in the 80s. He has a very distinct laugh. He's known for playing many different roles at a time. It is Eddie Murphy.
So I have a question, guys, because I can already guess with number one. How the f- did Chris Rock not make y'all's list?
We can get into that afterwards.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Now, he also has jokes that some people are going to find offensive, but I think people who don't get offended easily will find all of his stuff hilarious.
Also, remember when that came out was years ago. Different day and age. It's over 40 years old. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Dang,
those specials still hold up if you can be okay with those jokes.
So different day and age. Before we get on people, it's different day and age. Was it back in was it 70s or?
Yeah,
his mannerisms, the delivery, that voice is iconic. You hear him imitated all the time. He has the second weirdest laugh in comedy.
Yes.
He does. It was funny because he's kind of gone through a path that like a lot of other people have, like stand-up comic, then was on SNL for years, then transitioned to movies and had a very good career. When he came back for SNL, that was actually pretty funny too. That was pretty good. That was good.
That was funny.
Younger people may not realize just how big of a star he was in the 80s and 90s. I mean, he was like huge.
He was big, so big. One day when we do comedies, I will probably get comedy movies. We'll probably get into Coming to America is always going to be one of my his favorites. So funny.
He's even funny in not great movies like Nutty Professor. He's hilarious on that.
We'll go into some honorable mentions. I'm going to go with one that was brought up. The Mountain just brought this person up. It is Chris Rock.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Look.
How is that even possible?
Is Hunter the only one that voted for Chris Rock?
Yep. No only person.
Max is like, at least he's not alone.
I don't like people who get slapped at the Oscars, okay? Slap them back.
Wow.
No, his specials are pretty funny.
Yes. I don't understand how y'all can have a list of 10 and not be on
I
there.
had 10 people in front of him.
I bet there's no way 10 people were funny.
No, I think he's funny, but I think some of his humor is he yells a lot. That's kind of the joke, just because he yells.
I mean, maybe his new stuff, but not his old stuff. I don't think so.
He was also huge back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was huge, but he couldn't quite translate that into as much success in the movie business. He did have some good stuff, but
it's because he latched on.
Not like Eddie Murphy.
We're gonna go into another one voted on solely by Vitamin J. Person's known for the very iconic TV show and was started off by Rodney Dangerfield. It is Jerry Seinfeld.
Bro, stand-up's
You put Jerry
hilarious.
Seinfeld stand up ahead of Chris Rock. I'll fight you. I swear to God.
Absolutely.
Jake's like, what's the deal with y'all not putting him on your list?
Gosh darn it. It's jokes and not like that. Stop it. I will not hear such slander.
I don't know, man. I don't think a stand-up's that great.
What I think is y'all just haven't sat down and watched the specials. That's
So you think we're godfathering him?
yeah. I think y'all just like watching a clip here and there.
I mean, I've never really listened to specials. I'll admit that right here.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not funny, but me and Chris Rock on me. 5 grown men and 1 guy voted for him. That makes no sense.
You can't shoot on a shooter.
We're going to one that Max voted for. A person who we talk about really having no filter, will go after anybody, has actually at the Golden Globes had an interesting conversation about the Me Too movement and the people who are heading the Me Too movement, but protecting certain people in the Me Too movement. Ricky Gervais.
I thought I put him on my list.
Ricky Gervais is, I'm not putting up with your bullshit. That's all he is like, I'm calling you all out. I mean, you see the Golden Globes, how many people he pissed off just calling him out for stuff they did?
I mean, he had a good point of like, you all are saying all this stuff about me too, but yet you all protected Harvey Weinstein. So I don't know what you.
Yeah, because that's been a running joke in Hollywood for 20 years that Harvey Weinstein's like that, and everyone in Hollywood knew
and constantly were like,
what's that?
Great. Thank you, Harvey Weinstein.
Have y'all seen that clip of Courtney Love? It was like early 2000s. They asked her like, what's one advice you can give someone in Hollywood? And she's like, oh yeah, don't share a room with Harvey Weinstein.
Dang.
But hey, Gervais loves throwing your crap back into you. If you don't like it, I mean, it's your fault. I don't agree with everything he jokes about, but he's definitely not afraid to go there.
We're gonna go into a person that I voted for. This person has a pretty funny sense of humor. It's this guy named Gary Owens. He's a white guy. He always talks about how he's a white redheaded guy, and he's married to a black woman, and just
black people love him.
Oh yeah, so he's pretty funny in all that situation. So yeah, he addresses a lot of things of like sometimes how him growing up versus his wife growing up, how things were so different and how their family acted was so different.
Before you move on to number 1, I just want to mention, I know I left the crowd hanging early when I said Eddie Murphy had the second weirdest laugh in comedy. So people were wondering, hey, who has number 1? Jimmy Carr.
That makes no sense.
So yeah, give that a listen and say a human actually laughs like that. I've always wondered what a good, hearty, long laugh would sound like from him. I can't imagine that continues for 15 seconds. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. Thanks for giving me the floor there.
Anytime. Vitamin J it was The Mountain. Voted for Ralphie May.
He was. I would have put him on there, but like the last 2 specials I watched of his were like really bad. I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
Just like, you gotta be damn near perfect to be top 10, okay?
Yeah, man, you gotta have banger after banger.
But his peak was very good. He's still very funny.
He is very quotable. He probably gets quoted once a week with us. Hey, Bobby, say something nice about Gary Goldman.
Well, one, he's just one of the funniest comedians out there. You know, he got great observational humor, and you know, he says things we're all thinking, but in a funny way, like with the guac at Chipotle. Or his rant about sugar cookies. You name it. He even had a rant about grapefruit. His material is, one, unique and different. I don't see many comedians doing some of his material. And then he presents it in a way that, you know, one, makes you think, and 2, is hilarious.
No disagreement here. Tev felt that. He's the one who hasn't seen him.
You need to see him.
Okay.
Hilarious.
How did you not vote for Jim Gaffigan? All right.
Well,
What's up with that?
to be honest, you know, I thought about it, and then I thought about putting him in there, then I forgot all about him, and then I remembered him. I was like, well, the fact that I forgot about him makes him not top 10 worthy.
I just think it proves you have dementia. I don't think it's an issue with Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
He is quite hilarious.
You like Gary Coleman, Jim Gaffigan's kind of in the same vein of observational humor.
Yeah, but not as good.
He doesn't do it as dry. He does the character bits and all that.
We're going to our number 1. Voted on by, again, everybody. Came in with 48 points. It really should be no shock if we've kind of hinted at our age so you probably have a kind of an idea of what it is. When this person came into prominence, he had a very popular show that was hilarious. This guy's got several comedy specials. It has been controversial for some opinions, but the stuff he says he's just hilarious. And even has a joke about Nick Cannon is hilarious. Well, you know what? We said Dave Chappelle is hilarious. It's Dave Chappelle, guys. Nice guy. Met some people that are from his town, and they speak very well of him.
I've seen almost every single one of his specials. Every single one of them is like laugh out loud hilarious.
Yeah, there's only one that isn't, but he still says a good message in it.
We know he's not the internet's most favorite comedian right now for certain jokes, but I think if you learn to, joke, because he makes fun of everybody. He's not targeting one group. If everyone is fair game, then there should be no issue.
His 2 early specials, Killing Them Softly and For What It's Worth, some of the best specials of all time.
I know we weren't basing this off TV shows, but his TV show has multiple skits that are all timers.
I do want to give a shout out to his co-writer or co-whatever for the show, Neil Brennan. He's also hilarious. He's also pretty good.
He's basically having a real conversation with you when he's talking.
One time racism saved my life, man. I was on a plane. I was coming from overseas, and I don't know how this guy got a machine gun on the plane, but he stood up, man. He said, "Everybody, get on the fucking ground. Nobody look at my face." I started freaking out because he was Chinese. I was like, why is he talking like that?
All good stuff.
I mean, current Dave is good, but the high-pitched Dave will always be my favorite.
I mean, Chappelle Show era was just a whole nother thing. Like, what he did with sketch comedy was just hilarious. Were some of the best things. Dave Chappelle sometimes points out some real things. Like, when he was talking about the Jesse Somalia thing, why would these guys know some gay dude from Empire if they really don't like black? Like, why would they know that?
We were joking about Dave Chappelle being number one. It really is Jim Brewer.
Wow. We're doing a list of unfunniest comedians. He'd be number one.
Oh, he'd be oof.
He'd be in a neck-to-neck race with Sam Kinison.
Well, it's Jim Brewer thinks comedy is just making stupid faces and movement.
Jim Brewer, you suck, and I don't care if you somehow find this and hear that.
We know you're watching.
You suck.
You do suck. I watched 20 minutes of one of his specials. Just to torture myself, honestly. When I tell you it was the longest 20 minutes of my life, I mean it.
All right, well, there goes our list. Top 10 comedians, and we were talking about stand-up comedians. Did you agree with our list? Did you not? Were you curious with some of the names and want to look them up? Please let us know. And if you haven't watched some of these and, you come back and watch them later and like them, please let us know. Like, comment, subscribe.
Watch Gary Goldman.
Thank you all for watching. Thanks for everything. Thank you guys for watching. Again, my name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
Bobby.
And Hunter.
May the discussions begin.